it's working.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Let me put my thing on. Okay.
I'm excited. Thank you for wanting to go live. That's a big deal.
Yes, I'm excited also because we just support each other in all different ways.
Man who's been through the fire doesn't fear the flame. He's lost, failed, been ignored and broken, but he never gave in. He turned pain into purpose, silence into strength and doubt. He doesn't move for approval, he moves for progress. Every scar he carries is proof he survived what was meant to destroy him. He's not chasing perfection. He's becoming unstoppable.
You so tight, I'm loving your fit when you whine, when you dig, go and leave. My soul is on the rise, mama, take control, don't take my life, mama.
I like your hat.
Thank you. I love it too.
It's different.
My symbol.
What is it?
It's a sacred geometry of my logo of my company.
Oh, that is fire. So you representing right now.
Yes.
Before we begin, I just want to tell you I appreciate you. Thank you for making time and space to do this. This is one of those things you can study all you want, but literally connecting with somebody, you can only learn by going through it. So this is new for me. My nerves are going crazy right now. But I just want to say I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up, being present during this time, because this is what we need. And I think this is good. I think this is good for the collective to see how this works. But I appreciate you.
You for everything that you're doing, like standing strong when shit gets rocky, because we need you and we all need each other. And you are making a big impact, and you have come a long way, and you have evolved a lot, and we know we all have. But I'm super proud of you, and just want to tell you that.
That means a lot. I'm learning to receive. That means a lot. Thank you for seeing me, Ashe. So you told me today you want to get into a conversation about what? Human evolution. You want to get into, you said mirroring.
Yes.
And probably just a general concept of the collective and what to expect and what is going on. I did write some notes, but of course, if you feel it, you can interject at any time, run your mouth. But I feel like a lot of us are the front runners of what's coming to humanity. And a lot of us went through a whole ass process to be here. Whole ass process. And it's going to be more natural than anything. Okay? A lot of us are constructing a sky grid. And the sky grid could only be worked if the ground crew was stationed and secured, coherent, structured, devotion and will. And I do believe because we were the ones who undergone this first, we're going to be holding structure for the collective. Okay, because there's certain things you're not going to be able to bypass in this new hue. It's like
we're evolving, and like go based off that, that's very powerful, because we're evolving. We're actually going to 6D when we're able to not manipulate, but have the structure in the physical plane in the grid system. We're already in 6D and beyond. And when we're mirroring each other, right, we're actually in lower vibration, because we're it's like individuality, right? But we're beyond that. But there's nothing wrong with our evolution. It's just different steps that we're evolving to understand and see beyond these little structures of patterns. It's just your awareness, right? Your awareness of the patterns, and you see how people are around you and how they operate with your energy field, right? This is an amazing topic. I always wanted to.
It is, and I'm excited because I'm not used to people talking with your lingo, so I'm a little excited the way you're talking. But I want to say like something like this, because you said it, it's not a hierarchy. We need to get that out of our head. This is more of development. This is more about you learning yourself, devoting with yourself. And like you said, it's more of a degree. These degrees are flames that open you up to different worlds, wombs, and realms. Like you said, that's the second hue of humanity. So a lot of us had to tarry through the time continuum to be here and hold this structure.
Because we're a spiral. Okay, we're transcending, right? We're holding lower vibrations because we have to go through those parts of our lifetimes, right? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So we're structuring our energetic field to be grounded in this incarnation, but beyond that, so we are setting the way, we're walking the path to make it easier for everyone else to also walk the same path. And there's different avenues, but ultimately it's you knowing yourself. That is the ultimate everything to ground yourself into this incarnation, because you're going to skyrocket, but you can't skyrocket until you know yourself.
Right. Yeah. The best mastery is self-mastery. The best discovery is self-discovery. And you'll master your terrain when you've learned to master your body. Your body's actually connected to the terrain. And that's why it's important to regulate your nervous system so you can literally resonate and abide in these new hues. Like for me, I'm waking up in neutrality and peace, and it's fucking weird. It's weird. So I'm teaching myself how to, I don't want to say coast, but to be in this space and still create. Because I'm used to having like density, I'm used to having resistance, I'm used to having smoke, I'm used to having issues. That's not what it's like up here. So I'm learning to cultivate and create from a self-sustaining system that is not based on binary resistance, but flow, coherence, structure, being in your cymatic authority. You know what I mean? So it literally is a rewiring process. A lot of this is devotion, it's development, because this is a very intelligent system. Okay, so it's like you said, it's really you on you and learning your levels, learning your degree, and learning timing. Okay, timing is not a two-dimensional construct. You know what I mean? So we're learning timing in a different construct. These are levels, and I want to tell you that where you're at, there's no good or bad, but there's definitely levels to this. There's levels, there's realms, there's densities.
And you know how, so we're all architects, but just depending how much you have integrated, you're able to expand your awareness or your environment. You're able to change your environment based off your own presence, right? And so we have to, all of us, come to that conclusion of changing your environment without speaking, without saying anything, but just being in your presence. It changes the dynamic within everyone's cellular structure by just being around you. They're changing, and not because you're forcing something down their throat, but it's just your vibration is in a different frequency that they need you in that moment because they needed to come in contact to activate something within someone else, right? And so this is so, you are the whole and we're helping each other to complete the whole, right? And it's just so amazing. It's so like, this is what we're here to do, to evolve, to not be a broken, or how to say, shattered mirror,
right?
Be this coherent mirror. I could go on and on.
And I love it. And I really don't know how to approach this, so I'm learning. I'm dancing with you. But you said a lot of cool things that I want to address. You said presence. Wow. Your presence is law. And you know, to establish that presence and you got to have a relationship with yourself. That takes conditioning. That takes you, whatever, isolating yourself, conditioning yourself, and a lot of unlearning, clearing distortions, coming back to your original signal. Yeah. That's a whole process. To act like that's not a process, you're crazy. That's a whole process of unlearning and getting back to center, getting back to your original cymatic. And of course, it's going to disturb people. Right, just like people love to be around you, there's gonna be people like they don't want to be around you because you carry law, you carry an atomic structure. It says, "Come find out." I'm saying, so not everyone's willing to go through a whole tarry to be around you because they're so used to a structured version of you. You know what I mean? So that comes with so much, but it has to do with a lot of clearing the distortion, a lot of conditioning. You know what I mean? How am I going to hold presence out here if I don't first acknowledge the presence that I have within? That took a lot of work, and you know that. Yeah. I believe we had a live like this like 4 or 5 years ago, and I barely could be present within myself. How am I going to be present to the collective if I can barely hold my own shit? You know what I mean?
You were good. You were good.
This whole world is, the lower realms are built on false urgencies, false structures, manipulation, hierarchy, moving. And a lot of us tarried into a higher harmonics and we're holding it. And I do believe, I want to get into this probably a little later, but the Neptune and Aries has a big role in bringing what we're talking about into form. Bringing what we're talking about into the head comes first. Aries comes first, and a lot of this stuff, we have higher aspects. We're in the upper room and the higher room. I feel like this is the timing a lot of us were waiting for. And being in your station, being in your throne during this time is very crucial, because as we know with the number 11, the network is the mycelium network. When I say nervous system and network, it's not just your body, it's the planet. You're connected to it. So when you regulate your body, you're stabilizing the planet.
Yes, because you cannot be connected to the grid unless your system is in full flow and open chambers. Because if you can regulate your body, you actually distort the whole. I cannot connect you to the grid if you cannot sustain the energy and the power, because you're distorted. I cannot connect you to that. Like a bad egg will ruin the rest. That's really what it is.
Right. And it's not even a personal thing, it's a universal thing, because these higher realms, they have different dynamics, different densities, different hues, different bandwidths, different flames of degree. They move on different airspace. So it's not a personal situation, and it's good to know that. But the universe wants to temper you in so you can be born again into this new hue, moving off of things like neutrality, moving off of things like integration, moving off things like divine will, divine purpose. A lot of us had to introduce this to humanity, which is ourself. You know what I mean? So it did take a tarry, and because of that tarry, a lot of us is stepping into positions, things I call midwifing, being a whole ass node. So I feel like humanity in a whole is going through this process as well, but there are those like us who are trailblazers in this. You know what I mean? So you can't midwife and you cannot guide without, like you said, being grounded, being updating your iOS, connecting with the grid itself. A lot of us are stepping into stewardship. You got people going on a soul ass retrieval. Then you got people who went on a soul ass retrieval and now we're over soul, and we're ready to stewardship. We're ready to step fully embodied, more radical, ready to fucking go nova. My bad for cursing, but we're ready. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's a beautiful time to be alive. It really is.
And going back to the nervous system, the nervous system is also connected to your chakra system, and it's also connected to your organs. So depending on your distortions, I would say you could open and close them, and depending on the situation, you could open and close them. But once you are stabilized, there is no moving you, right? Standing in your power is not being moved depending on the situation, place, or thing, right? So we have to be these embodiments of the divine within ourselves and not be moved or swayed back and forth. You have to know your worth. You have to know where you stand. You have to know it within your DNA sequence.
Like I said, and it helps because this is a living intelligence. Your first contact with humanity is with your vessel. Okay? So like you said, like you have to really be devoted. You really have to sit with your ass and breathe through it. Allow yourself, because your nervous system, right? If it's not regulated, your miracle could be right in front of your ass, but you just can't receive it. You're not receptible. You know what I mean? So having a regulated nervous system, and to mention the station nodes you were talking about, now is the time to maintain readiness and just be ready to be able to respond, not react. Because a lot of us are going to be, shooted into our destiny. A lot of us been making out with our destiny. And I feel like this Neptune and Aries is literally going to launch it into form. You're going to be put in positions where you're actually going to be seen, heard, and felt. You know what I mean? So
it's exciting times.
Yeah, and another thing is, don't be regulated by nothing outside of you. When you realize that this is something I had to learn. That's why I speak with conviction, because as angelics and cherubims, we're very sensitive, and we had to find our identity in a sound pool, in a bath. So we had to find our own cymatics. And I want to encourage somebody, there's not another you. Don't you dare regulate yourself based on anything. I don't give a damn. 70 to 80% of the collective don't even have a reasoning mind. Okay? You should be regulating yourself. Get to know yourself, because not everyone's like you. Not everyone has your spectrum. They want to demonize you so they can fit their nervous system. People in here, they either love me or hate me. I can't control that. But sometimes their nervous system can't handle you. But if you love them, you're going to stay you, okay? Let go of what doesn't fit. Stay you, okay?
I love that.
Ashe.
I love that because there's no other than your unique. It's like the planet needs everyone to be your unique self because your frequency is so special that we need everyone needs a part of that because we're not the same. And then when you're that mirror that reflects everyone's projection, right? That's really what it is. Then you started becoming other people, right? And that's when I first realized when I was younger that I was mirroring 100 different people. I didn't even know who I was. I didn't even know where I stood because I'm like, I'm this person, that person, that person, that person. I'm like, who am I? Who am I? And then I have to remove everyone. It's like, oh, this is me. I'm at peace with me. I'm the happiest with me. And this is what we're all going through right now. We really, truly are.
Really, it's getting back to your original signal. A lot of us were diluted. The word mutated our DNA, and we had to come back to your original signal, like you're saying, and it's beautiful. But here's the thing. I don't want people thinking like good and evil, hell, going to hell or heaven. It's not that. It's part of development. You're literally developing yourself. You're creating these beings. You're creating the celestial mind, the celestial archetype. You're crystallizing it into form. So I don't want people to feel like that's a period everyone goes through.
Yeah, I feel like we have to know both ends because they are actually both working with each other because it is that. It's the universe. There's nothing bad about changing and developing. If they are willing to push you to develop yourself in your mind, you're going to think that you're being pushed to do something amazing because we know that you're capable of doing that. But in our minds, we think it's bad all the time. And it's like, no, it's for me. I need that. I need to understand that. But it just depends on where you stand as well. Do I need physical pain and suffering to get it? Or do I need understanding and compassion to get it? So it's a little bit of both. What do you prefer? I'm done suffering. I want loving and understanding.
Welcome, Dreamwalker. I'm with you on that. I'm done with it too. Welcome, Dreamwalker. I think his name says, do you guys ever have self-doubt? Of course. Here's the thing. I want to say this because it's not so much losing your identity in things. It's okay to feel hate. It's okay to be upset. It's okay. But it's not your identity. Losing your signal, losing your solar logos, they call it, losing your station, that's when it becomes a problem. Happy birthday, Dreamwalker. Ashe. But everyone has self-doubt. That's when you need to sit with your ass, breathe through it, and teach your vessel how to move in that terrain without losing yourself. Everyone deals with... Go ahead. Yeah.
I used to doubt myself so much that I would get other people's perceptions and made it my own because what they perceived of me, they must be right because they see that from me. But in all actuality, was showing me to push me to know who I was. And I had to develop that over time. Now I don't doubt myself, not one bit, even if I'm wrong. I really don't care because in that moment, in my consciousness, I'm right. And if it's me developing higher wisdom, higher knowledge, show me where I could do, how can I change? But I'm not gonna seek outside validation.
That's wisdom.
Because I'm thinking differently. I used to doubt myself because that's how I started my journey, is I would do card readings and I'm like, wait, is that right? Wait, is that right? No, I don't know, you know? And I had to keep going. I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't care if I look stupid. I don't care. I'm going to continue it until I get it right, until I'm connected to my instincts, right? But that's a process, right? It's like, you don't want to feel self-doubt? Work. Keep working. Keep doing it because that should be your motivation, right? Like...
Yeah, but you're right. That takes full-on development. It takes literally real love. Real love requires patience, real love. I'm not talking about quick love. I'm talking about long, enduring love. It's the ones with the heart that's going to endure. And that's what you just said is wisdom, and it came through time and experience, and everyone will get there. You know what I mean? So push through the doubt and learn to trust. Yes, that's something I had to learn, trust, especially most recently. Trust is the structure. Upon that trust, you will be built. The new world will be built. You know what I mean? So a lot of us had to learn trust on another. Welcome, Miranda. This is new for me. Is there anything else you want to get into, or you want me to just go off?
You take the lead.
So a lot of us are stepping into a new terrain of the body becoming the planet itself and a planetary body as an instrument. Because we talked a little bit about the nervous system and the power of your nervous system. If I kick your foot and by the time that signal from your foot gets to your head, that's the power of the nervous system. And a lot of us had to regulate our nervous system. Your body is literally a planetary interface. This might be too much right now, but we're all hitting it from different angles. That's why right now it's important to be stationed, secure, and aligned, because the 11th month, the 11th hour, the 11th space, Aquarius, is not about a persona. It's about the collective, and it's about systematic. A lot of us our nervous system is regulated, right? Our network is good, and we're connecting with minded people during this month. So when this new year hits in March, we're going to be already ready to go. We're going to be ready to go. Okay, stay centered, stay on your shit. Ashe.
You know, a cat went by, which it's not my cat. It just went by here.
What color was it?
Like stripes, like a tiger. And then I saw a ladybug, and I was just like, oh, this is so nice. Your nature speaks, your environment speaks. If you're able to be in the present moment, you're able to see what the universe is trying to tell you. The same thing as the numbers, right? The 1111, the license plates, they're like, this is where you are at this current state. And it's like, oh, thank you, my guides. I love this. Like, you are the universe because you're changing the dynamic. And I know I'm changing subjects, but we could go back to the topic.
But the truth is you're not. It corresponds so well, because I don't think people realize your nervous system is the network. Your nervous system, when it's regulated, you open opportunities to even see the cat. When you're calm and you're collective, you open opportunities to see the license plate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So having a regulated nervous system is the importance of having a network, communication. You know what I mean? Connecting with your planet, not just people, places, and things. Having a regulated nervous system helps you connect with people, places, and things at your level. Okay? So you're not really
butterfly.
Butterfly. That's another thing. Metamorphosis, baby. You know, I know you guys know this, but the butterfly goes through, it becomes liquid. It becomes liquid. The bone, everything strips to liquid and it reforms itself. That is what's happening on a planetary level. Okay, so a lot of you were the front runners for this, and that's the reason why you're here today, standing, secure, ready to go. You know what I mean? But there's people that are going through their first ass ego death, and they're gonna have to look in the mirror, and that's not pretty or ugly. It's just a real situation. So you have to reinvent themselves.
Talking about the ego death, you know, that's really important to understand that there's nothing wrong. You're not going crazy. There's a part of you, which the ego is a safety mechanism that's no longer serving you because you're beyond that stage and it needs to leave. Well, not leave. It needs to, you need to nourish it and say you're loved, you're protected, and you're safe. So you have to actually love that part of yourself in order for you to transcend. And you know how many times I would do that to myself? Like, your love, even if crying down tears, I'm like, you're fine. Like, me holding my younger self, because it forms as a younger age, because when you're a child, you do not have an ego. When does it form? It forms when you're growing up and you have to do these safety mechanisms in order for you to live and survive in this reality that was back then, right? And that's all that it is.
Literally, the ego used to be the center stage, and it's not taking the center stage anymore. Your soul signal, your somatic, your frequency, your flow state is taking center. You know what I mean? I was going to say something, but I forgot. Oh, you talked about love, and I want to say this. We're talking about universal love, not your feelings kind of love. It's going to take the kind of love where you're going to need to be patient. It's going to take the kind of love where you're going to have to tell people no. It's going to take the kind of love where you're going to have to stand when you know you're disturbing the place. It's going to take that kind of love. I'm serious. It's going to take that kind of devotion. And if you're not, you know, take it as you will, but that's real love. Love is enduring. Universal love ain't fragmented. Universal love is absolute. So you're going to have to do some absolute shit. You know what I mean?
You know, if a person really loves themselves, they show you unconditional love through their essence.
Right.
You know? And it's that. It's like, why are we still creating more pain and suffering in the world? Because a lot of people haven't healed themselves, you know? And we need more people that are healing themselves to show what it's like to fall deep down and pick yourself back up, right? We need those individuals. Where are they? It's all of us right now, because I know that. We're all warriors of the light, right? Because we're merging out, right? And
come on, I'm not used to this. Keep going. I'm with you. Let's go. Someone asked, does the ego continue trauma bonds?
yes, feel like the thing is, I think what sometimes you need the ego of other individuals to push you into your soul purpose. Okay, sometimes we need to have those. That's sometimes us empaths need that push of like, oh yeah, oh really, okay, bring it. All right, I will prove you wrong. Thank you for showing me that. Thank you.
I wanted to say this because it's not so much the ego is gone. The ego is a steward. It's a servant, and it needs to know its place. It's not the center of attention, because you need your ego. What I want to say, and I feel like that question it was probably sincere, but I felt for me where I'm at, that's a giant gaslight. You know what I'm saying? You got to take the ownership. You got to step in your center, and until something snaps, something's got to snap. Where you say, F the world relative to you, F the external. I validate myself. I love and it's not the kind of love where, ooh, feelings. It's the kind of love I'm going to show up. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to wash my ass. I'm going to brush my teeth. That might be too practical for some of you, but this is what it's going to have to take. I'm serious. Otherwise, you're not going to stand on anything. You need structure, and you need time, space, development. You're not going to have those same questions. You're going to be operating systems going to be changed. You're going to be operating different. You're going to be moving different. You got to be willing to disturb your own field like I'm doing right now, even my tone. You got to be willing. You know who's worth it? I'm worth it. My inner child is worth it. You got to get to that level.
Yes.
And all that shit will disappear. All that shit won't even, what the fuck? It don't even matter. What are we tripping over? You know what I mean? So a lot of us are coming back to the soul in man, the center, the solar, their own tower, instead of getting lost in disassociation, disillusionment, this Piscean bullshit, and not having any type of form. You know what I mean? So I don't think the ego is a threat. I think the lack of devotion, your lack of love, your lack of discipline, you're not willing, you're not capable. Those are more important. You got to have the will of the gods. You got to have see, I'm getting excited. This is the warrior in me. You got to have a non-local will, and that can be developed doing the work.
I feel like back in the day, maybe this was 2-3 years ago, I was just walking and this information came upon me, and they said, you cannot serve two masters. And they were telling me the reason why is that it's because it's your ego self and your soul, your true essence. You cannot serve both. Okay. Right. In order for you to serve yourself, you have to quiet down the ego, like you were saying, and understand that it's there to serve you in a specific way when you want it to serve you, not when you allow it to take control over your whole entire life. Okay, this is why the ego death is so crucial, because you allowed it to run your life. And now it's crumbling down because you have allowed it to take its course. And so now you cannot serve two, only one, which is your own self, your higher self, and your soul.
This is why start getting into mastery. Self-mastery is the only mastery, because it's not easy, but we don't do what is easy. It's going to take you, because we're dealing with chemicals. We're dealing with neurons. You're readjusting your whole fucking system. So it's not easy, don't get me wrong, but it is doable. I like this. You cooking, baby. You cooking. Oh! Yeah, it's the age of truth. Absolute truth. No more distortion, no more fragments. Truth. As builders, all I want is the truth so I can actually build something. I don't want to build something and have a 3-month, ooh, and not have sustain, not having the capability. I want it to be solid. So I had to first find that within myself, okay? This is where you're not separate, but, you know, understanding that this is a process, okay? It took 9 months for you to come to this world, okay? If you're not willing to finish the cycle, I'll be honest with you. I don't want to be around you. That's where I'm at with it. Because that's not love. Me tolerating that, that's not love. That's bullshit. So this takes time. This is an intelligent system. You can't bullshit it. So when you meet yourself at that level, it's going to meet you back at that level. So this is for me, coming out of a whole spirituality, this below the soul, coming more into soul aspects, your confidence, your power, your right to live, instead of being delusional, floating in the sacral. I want my feelings. You have no solar, you have nothing, you have no structure. So every narrative's gonna knock you on your ass. It took a development. That's the word, development. You had to develop an embryo. You had to develop a tower. This is what separates embodied people from disembodied people. Functioning people from dysfunctioning people. These are two different type of beings, two different echo, two different air, two different thought patterns. Everything's different. You know what I mean?
And that's what they were telling me. I was driving and I talked to my guides and they're like, when there's movement going, you get information. So walking brings information, driving brings information.
I like that.
It all has to be with movement in order because you're releasing and you're receiving.
Circulation. Yes. There you go.
And so that's what it is. So I'm driving, right? And then they're like, there's two types of people. I was not even thinking about this. There's two types of people. One person, which I already made a video about, one person is afraid to change and they will continue to give pain or suffering to the masses. The second person is brave enough to change and does not want to continue their lineage in the way that it is because it knows it doesn't serve them and it doesn't serve the collective. So there's only two types of people.
That's the mitosis. That's the splitting you're talking about, the mitosis, the different types of people. And I want to say something. I didn't mean to interrupt you because I'm listening. But when you say words like brave, when you say words like courage, these are heart attributes. I want to make it abundantly clear. A lot of us were counted out because we may not have intellect. We may have a little earthly intelligence, but I'll tell you what the fuck we did have. We have heart, and your heart is why you endure. Sometimes you got to be brave. Being brave, being courageous has nothing to do with up here. It's being bold. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
No, that's exactly what I was talking about, is being bold, making moves that no one else would do. You're the black sheep of the family. You're going to be doing your own thing whenever you want to do it because you know you were brought into this incarnation to assist and change, right? You're not here to follow. You're here to change, to become like heaven on earth, how they say, because people that are being reincarnated into this planet over and over, what are they very good at? Following the rule. And guess what? That does not sit well with me. It's like, I'm here to change the rules, to do something different, because we're not here to adapt to them. We're not here to fit in. We're not here to fit in. We're here to bring a new.
New. I want to say something. Someone named Genuine said endure when your heart is messed up. And that kind of hurt my feelings. A lot of us, we're guardians of Ma, the original matrix, the heart space. Your heart is never messed up. You've been imprinted upon. You've been doctrinated. You've been suppressed, or people try to put things into you that isn't you, and you have to clear the delusion because your heart is pure. If you have one, your heart never messed up. Your heart's never messed up. If you think that, you're not even playing the same game. Your heart is what is pure, and it's about getting to the heart.
Yeah, it's like dismantling trauma that has caused, or people putting trauma onto you that you have transformed into this different being that really is not you. It's just over time it developed itself, and now you have to chip away these things that are not for you anymore, right?
And it's learning your technology, learning your vessel, because a lot of this trauma stores up in your body, and you're not dealing with you as your identity because you are no thing. You are soul, okay? But you're loving the first human. You loving yourself is loving the first human and willing to endure because of the heart, to being able to zoom out. That's important. You know what I mean? It's literally a lot of work. but you're more than enough. I'm not going to look at you anything less. I'm going to look at you as a soul star majesty, and I'm going to say there's nothing you can't do. You just have to have the willingness. You got to be devoted. Because to be honest with you, that's the beginning. That's only the tip. That's only the tip. Let it be memory, today be new. Come on. Healing your nervous system. Really, when you heal your nervous system, you're healing the network so information can flow. Not information from me to you, but it could be me to my phone, me to my shoes, me to anything. That's the nervous system by the time it takes. And a lot of us had to regulate that and sit in a new regulated system so it can crystallize, so it can take form, a different cymatic, a different rhythm, a different echo, you know? And, you know, you're not getting thrown off. That's why they're trying to freeze the dormant. They're trying to freeze the network. You know what I mean? But that's not going to happen. It's, you know, but your nervous system is everything. How you relay information is everything. How you receive is everything. Because you can be here, right, and have a effed up nervous system and you're not receiving a damn thing. It's separating your mind and your body. You could be here in mind, right, but you're not here in body. And your body is the technology. Your mind is what separates everything. So you got to know, you're Merkaba, you got to know when your mind and your body and your spirit are all in one accordance. Otherwise, right?
Your brain, like for me, it's like in a file cabinet of like, okay, this is what I wanted, because it doesn't sit in my brain. I have to like, oh wait, hold on a second, let me go up there, let me go through my file cabinets. Oh, okay, this is what you're talking about. Oh yes, I do remember that. I put it back in, and it's just like, oh, okay. That's a little out there, but that's really how I operate. And then the aliens, they operate like that through your mind. They paint picture of what they are talking about, because you have to understand how others communicate as well. Angelic communicate differently. Aliens communicate differently. The ancestors communicate differently. The elementals communicate differently. And through telepathic communication. So what does that mean? You have to leave it open. And so that could actually take place. So none of my memories, I don't hold it inside myself. My physical body is like above me. That's where.
That's the halo. That's the halo aspect. Someone asked me, who am I? These aren't the right questions. You need to go on a journey. These aren't the right questions.
What did they ask? Who are you?
He said, who am I? Oh. Like, you are no thing.
I am you and you are me. We are the same.
Right, we are, yep. But see, that's not the right question. Now we gotta realize that we're not having identity issues. We're not wandering where the power's at. Now we gotta do developing. Now we gotta do devotion. We gotta learn to articulate ourselves. You gotta be able to love yourself enough to learn your cymatic, learn your intelligence, learn your gifts, and guess what? Go one step further, intellectualize yourself, and be able to communicate it to the world. That's what we need. You know what I mean? So, like I said, there's levels to this, there's stages to this, but you gotta ask we're not going on the same, we don't wanna repeat patterns with the same quests, same questions. A lot of us are asking different questions. A lot of us are not even asking questions.
And I was gonna bring a different thing up. When you go venture out in different parts of spiritual or sacred places, you receive different codes, and those codes are embedded within your energetic field. And when we have these conversations, we're exchanging if you're ready to receive in your energy field. So anyone here could just say, I'm ready to accept and receive, and you will be given whatever is in alignment with you.
And it will bypass so much other funk when you tap into higher intelligence that surpasses the linear, your earthly intellect, Lucifer. When you let go and surrender to the cosmos, like you said, you regulate your nervous system to be receptive. And that trumps a lot of this other distortion and lower bandwidth things. You know what I mean? So here's an absolute truth. This ain't feelings. This ain't church. I don't care. This is absolute truth. You carry unlimited probability. And you're going to find yourself in the center. You are the center of all probability. We have unlimited potential here. That's not, now the question is, what are you going to do with it? How can you articulate? How can you circulate? Like you said, how can you circulate? How can you give back to this ecosystem, the circle of life? You know what I mean? So it's not a question so much about your identity. It's not a question of where the power is at. Now we got to step into more of a Bata creator energy, an architectural energy, and just keep creating. And it's more natural than it sounds. I'm just about it. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Dib said communication, comprehension, and compassion. Yes, we must create, right, Eric? Where else is it gonna come? You got artificial AI command prompts waiting for a commander. And we're at a point where your ignorance is betrayal. You doing nothing is doing something. So we have to come and form into your body, learn your body so we can mediate these realms, these worlds. You are what we're waiting for. Ashe. And I'm never going to calm down or relax. This is what I mean. You got to fall in love with yourself. You gotta, cause some of the things ain't gonna be reason. Some of the things that I go off, it's more spirit, it ain't reason. But I'm doing it to find my center. A lot of you are gonna regulate yourself the same way. Cause I got people in here that are listening to frequency, sound, and light. And then I got a whole nother party that's listening to every literal word. One, it's not that they're not right, it's delayed. It's more dense. And this kind of taps into what you mean about the angelic speaking a different language. They're from a different hue. It's not as dense, it's more free.
Yes.
You know?
Because unlike the alien beings, they speak through energy, but it forms a picture. But a photo speaks a million words, right? Because your words are actually compacted. It's not, how do you say it?
It's dense. It's alpha, beta. All words are just the dense aspects. 100% right. You just said something that blew my mind, though. That's crazy. I already forgot it, but I was like, wow.
Yeah, so like the aliens, so it's a vibration on top of a vibration, and then it turns, and then it paints a photo, and it paints a photo in your mind, and that's what they're talking about, right?
And is that why you see symbols and stuff from them? They give you symbols and stuff, and you have to...
certain ones will do that, and if you're in deep meditation, you're able to see the sacred geometry, just depending, or it depends on where you are at. So if you're a sacred location, you're able to see the sacred geometry through your third eye when you close your eyes. But you also could see other things in the physical realm. You could see it, but sometimes, I'm just saying about the aliens speak to you that way. So you know it's them speaking to you, and it's the vibration that you're connect to that, to see that. You're accepting that information. The angelic, they are different, which is they actually do push you to do, like, look this way, look at that, right?
Like a nudge.
But, yeah, like a nudge. It's a frequency. They give you this frequency, so you turn this way, and it's like, and it's, you have a free will to turn that way if you feel it, right? Or to be attuned to it, to turn.
This is the intelligence I was referring to. This is an intelligent system, and you have to gather this. You can't learn this from a book. You have to literally because you're living.
And so mainly the angelics, they want to change your thoughts. If they're negative, they want to change them to a positive, or to say, how about you see it in this way, in this light, look at it in this way. And it's like, and over time you have to adapt, because it doesn't happen overnight. You have to continuously want to be better. No, I can't think that way. I have to think better. I have to think more positive, a different outcome, solutions. Don't get frustrated. Don't get angry. There's solutions to everything. And that's kind of how they push you to evolve.
That whole process you're talking to is you literally communicating with your body how to regulate yourself, how to breathe through this new process. You know what I mean? That's beautiful. Maji said, great info. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Someone said angelic ? Negative and positive. Guys, if you have any questions, please put it in the comments. She's angelic. See, that's the thing. When you get to a certain level, not that you're at some level, negative and positive is math. It's not so much an identity you lose yourself in. It's more of math. It's more of a universal construct. So negative can be positive and positive can be negative. These two, they don't contradict each other. They complement each other. Water and fire, believe it or not, complement each other. Masculine and feminine, believe it or not, they complement each other. But you need to learn this, not you, but I'll talk to myself. You need to learn to stay centered. You need to be able to be more harmonic, more universal, and not lose your coherence. Because let me tell you something, if your kid ran in the street, right, you're not gonna whisper, you're gonna fucking yell. So it's not like you can't lose your identity anymore. We can't dissolve our identity in things anymore. You know what I mean?
That happened to me when my guys had to yell at me, because if I didn't do that in that moment, it was going to be bad. And they had to yell at me, stop it, do this.
I want my angelics in here to hear me, because it's not easy for us because we're coming from a heart space. But don't demonize yourself. I don't care. You could tell by my attitude, my cymatics. I don't care. I'm not being a dick. I'm doing it because I'm protecting my heart. My heart got hands. My heart got feet. So you got to be able to integrate great chaos with great order and be willing, be capable to do both. Otherwise, your whole universe will collapse under dissonance because you're just allowing shit because of feelings. You got to be able to construct and be able to move between the spectrum. Because you're not the spectrum. You're a light bender. You're a conductor. You're not the Elohim, the elements. This is what you meant when we talk about the elemental kingdom. You learn this. So we can't lose ourselves, but we have to know what it is. So there's no good or I know I beat the horse, but I want you to know there's no negative and positive as a personification like heaven and hell, but it's negative and positive for creating in general. Like if I'm doing music and sometimes I want to hear negativity. Sometimes I want corrective criticism. How am I going to get better? So we got to be able to detach and have an oversoul perspective because I got a host of demons and a host of angels and I don't need any of them. I'm here. You know what I mean? But it's all about not losing yourself, staying with yourself, stay centered.
You're going to have tests. You're going to be tested to see how strong you are. So there's going to be influences that will test you, but it's only for you to see yourself and how good you will handle it.
I had my little sister came to me about a month ago and she had a whole blowout. And I said, don't feel bad. Why are you feeling bad? The only thing you could do better now is probably, communicate ahead of time. You know what I mean? But what happened. Sometimes it needs to happen. Sometimes you got to regulate. Sometimes you got to remind the world, I have a right to be me. I have a right to be sovereign. I have a right to show up in my wholeness. Some of us are not synthetic. Some of us, we're primordial. That doesn't mean we're perfect Hollywood don't. It means we have raw, potent energy that we're learning to use, not to be ran through. So I want other angelics to hear me because you're getting a spine. You're getting a vertebrae. You're getting your own cymatic. And that comes with so much. Okay.
And the angelic realm, they don't want you to count on them for everything. They want you to stand in your own power and they will push you so you won't need them.
Come on.
And one time I cried because I was like, why are you leaving me? It's like, you need to learn how to stand on your own. You don't need me. You need yourself.
For real, you need you. You need you.
I'm like, yes. And they're like, we have your back, but you could do it on your own. I was like, cool. Like, oh goodness.
And people trying to run away from responsibility. Who doesn't want responsibility? A lot of us are maturing. A lot of us are the young elders. And I want to side into this Neptune, if we could. This Neptune is a generational planet, and I think it's introducing the new elders, the new cycle. And a lot of us are that. A lot of us are ready for responsibility. You know what I mean? A lot of us. So the sun is coming out. Come on. So true. A lot of us were ahead of the time, and we've already constructed these archetypes. But what's different now is the universe is going to be working with us on a whole nother level. Because there's a thing called higher intelligence. There is a thing called divine timing. And to be honest, we should be grateful for that. Yo, thank you for the gift. Oh, she gifted you a galaxy. Oh!
Yes, thank you, Miranda.
None of this would be possible if you didn't sit with yourself and tarry through. None of this would have been possible at all if you didn't sit with yourself. Another galaxy? Thank you for the galaxy. A lot of you were ahead of the curve. We were in the upper rooms, but we didn't have the form yet, and we were constructing it. And I feel like this is the introduction to the new elders. Because a lot of us came incarnated when it was in Pisces, so a lot of us carry things that wasn't ours. And now some of us are starting a new cycle where we're the head of the cycle. Now we're going to leave something where it's not so dense. I'm going to leave something for my nieces and nephews, something lighter, something, you know what I mean? It's going to be different. It's going to be form. They're going to have form. You know what I mean? So Neptune and Aries. Do you guys have any questions?
Yes, ask away.
Wheat from the tear, right? Wheat from the tear. That's what I feel like the 10th month did, Capricorn. Separated a lot of completion. She said completion and depleted. You're either embodied or you're disembodied. People who are disembodied run to and fro trying to find themselves because they have nothing to stand on. Someone who's embodied walks in a room with confidence. They have intentions. They have a purpose. They're about their shit. So these are just, another way of saying wheat and tear. Permission. Ashe, is there anything else you want to get into?
No, unless you have something else.
I could talk all day. I just don't know. Nice to meet you too. Appreciate you guys. Guys, follow my sis. She's awesome. She's very real. I've known her for about 4 or 5 years, and you haven't changed. You changed in the best way. You've grown. How about that? You've grown. You've developed. I know I have. I was lost boy in the town.
You changed a lot in a good way, you know, in the best ways.
Now I really don't give a fuck anymore. I'm a little different. I'm a little Ronin. Some of us don't fit in. Some of us were summoned to be here. You know what I mean? All right, guys, much love. Again, I appreciate you. We've been here for an hour. It went by so fast, didn't it? It took me about 30 minutes just to calm down. It took me about 30 minutes just to be here. It's my second time doing a puzzle. Third time's a charm.
Oh yeah, the first time. You guys couldn't even hear me, but we're here. And I appreciate you bringing me on with all your lovely people as well, being on the same page.
Much love, guys. We'll do this again. We'll figure it out, and we'll get better and better and better and better. It's just how it goes. So much love. Thank you. Thank you, Dreamwalker. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for receiving this transmission, Soul Star Majesties. If your heart is moved to support this mission, come on, support the mission. Love offerings, Ashe. Much gratitude.